Welcome to the baddest election in the land. This is Joseph Kesemakula. Welcome to our maiden show. It's been a dream. Probably it's coming true because this is the first step towards what we want to achieve. And what we achieve entails of the many things pertaining democracy, pertaining freedom, and mostly the basics of a living. So in this, we're going to talk a lot of things pertaining global politics, the economies. We're going to talk about the issues of extractiveness in most of the political sphere, in both political parties, and mostly we're going to talk about East Africa in particular today. We know on the world stage there's a lot of news going on, and we will tackle it a bit. Welcome to the show. This is Joseph K. Semakula. So, we're on the global stage. We're seeing that the Ukraine war, Russia-Ukraine war is still on. We're seeing the Israel-Gaza war, and it has extended to Lebanon and around even the Middle East is stirred up. We're seeing the Iran and the American coming terms, the dramatic diplomacy of Trump still going on. We are seeing a lot that is transpiring, but here in East Africa, we have in Kenya, it's sitting up. Remember last year when Gachagua was ousted from the deputy seat, it heated up. So it has come back to news after the case has been, the appeal of Gachagua has been heard, and it was on his side. And we have seen a lot of coalitions that are merging. When we're heading into election, we are still seeing that Ruto is being awarded many names. We call them pseudo what, and the recent one is one term. The one-term president. There has been a lot that like Zacchaeus, or we call Zakayo. There is Kasongo. There are other names even. So, as you know, Kenya as a powerhouse in the region, it has the flames. But for me, it's going the right direction. That's how nations grow. That's how nations make it up. And I'm so happy that this has happened. They are growing democratically. They are growing. For my mother nation, I pity. I still remember some of my guys who were abducted and incarcerated back in 2020 they're still jailed. Yeah, some died. We don't know this, so we even don't know. And the recent one, some of the Uganda's opposition leader lieutenants, the Mutwes. One is Noah, and the other one is the Edward Sebufo. So Edward Sebufo was abducted, and actually, when you look at it closely, some of his lieutenants, I mean, the most trusted, the people that are in the confine of the president is sphere. The most trusted ones, his lieutenants, mostly the guards and the people that surround him, live alone Nubianly. That is a confidant. So we're seeing that these guys are being one by one, since there was a burial of one of the legislators who was called Muhammad Sigilinya, succumbed to death due to many issues, but most of it, what we noticed about it was he was incarcerated since he started his term because he was alleged that there was murder in some of the nation, mostly in the central region, where we saw people being slain with pangas. They were torn into pieces, and the government was alleging that this was one of the guys that had a hand in this. I wrote in one of my poems, it was a Chiganda poem, I wrote about it. I wrote even about it in one of my English articles. It's called Machete Boys. You can go and check out on it. But this is the way that I portray that the government had lost popularity in the central. So this is a way of instilling fear to the people, that telling them, signaling that once you do this again, let's say 2026, this and more might happen. And before even the 2026 came to pass, we have seen a lot of people that are being incarcerated, being killed, being abducted. Even the recent by-election when the Kawempe, when Alcola has won, we saw some of the security organizers that never came into the face of the people. They were like the judge. These people works on terrorism. These are counter-terrorism units, but they were deployed in the election. So we were asking, what's going on? In that instance, you have seen a lot of organs, the security organs, coming, being part of the elections, which is not, which wouldn't have been a matter, but it's not their role. The police haven't come out and said, no, enough is enough. We don't have enough manpower. Let the guys come and help us. But today the issue is about politics and political parties and the politicians. I won't call them false politicians, because there's no false politician or fake one. Politics about changing view. Mostly, as you know, humans. You might go to Mama Nachi today. Doesn't mean that if you feel like going to Mama Nam tomorrow, you won't. So this is how it's been happening. People changing clothes, still the same faces, changing words, twisting a bit, making sure that people at least, okay, they move in a way where people can say, is still with us, but in actual sense is not with them. So this is how it is. If by 2021 we all agreed that the president really made mistakes and rigged that election, we wouldn't have seen our leader. We call him our leader because he holds hopes high. Our hopes high of being freed from this, what we call the military junta. He represents us, he represents me, he represents you. If he hasn't, how can I call it? Many people say that he betrayed us. But if he hadn't feared in his own way of thinking that people will die many, he would have said, no, let's go, do the right thing, let's free our nation. But he deterred us from doing so. This is where the betrayal came out. And that's where many people said he's a betrayer. Here it is. If you know the guy rigged an election and you knew we need freedom, you wouldn't have deterred us. The spirits were high by that time, and people were thinking that it's the right time. We should, and we need to embrace. It wasn't the last time. We still have that time. But I mean, that time was the better time. Right now we have more numbers adding up. That's good. But even that time we would have died. But we would have been embraced as freedom fighters and people who did a revolution for our nation. But I still think that politics is too much. By the time Robert Chagulanyi came into politics, he was down to earth. He was a man of action. Not only man in suit, doing some procession around the city and talking about words. He used to go on the street. He told the people, now, we don't need the OTT tax. We don't need this. And he goes down on the street and tells them, no, this is not the right thing. This is not what we got to do. And they all heard. They got here. They took the message and embraced it. They followed him. Right now, we all wait on TVs to see what is he talking about. Is he going to say that Moses is a drunkard? Is he going to say that Museveni has been in power for this all long? We all know that. That's why we came in big numbers to support him. But what we can say right now, it's so laid back. He has embraced the policy where I used to say that these guys, they call them elites and sort of that, but right now they're like, they don't care about the people. They say a lot of linguistic, like a lot of nani, but they don't act. That's what he has embraced. We wait on the TV to see what the new president has said. We wait on the TV to see what Besigye is doing in the nani. Wake up. Tell us. Let's do a procession in the city. Let's walk. We need to do that. A lot of people that they're saying, people will die. We've died. They're still dying. And they will. But the cause will always stay. Malangu died in South Africa. He was an activist. He was hanged because of his beliefs, because of the policies that the so-called new rule put on their land. So he was fighting, but he said that his blood will nourish the soils and seeds will come out. I always ask, isn't the blood enough? Or continuing incarcerating people will be the Lord's, will bring better service to the community? But mostly the politicians have betrayed us most, because we'd see they are struggling for seats. And we saw betrayed. We saw really betrayed. Today, this has been a preamble, and I will welcome you on the biggest. This is a preamble. We have opened up. You can send in a message. The topics that we need to talk about. We're gonna be having this daily or maybe weekly, and talk about it, how it's gonna be, how it's gonna run. But mostly we're gonna bring out the message. This has been just a tackling here, tackling there. We didn't have a nani. But this is the preamble. Our dream is coming true. This is our first maiden show at Josh Times. Make sure you subscribe. Tell your person and everyone. We're going to talk about all the adversities that African countries are facing, from DRC, Rwanda, Burundi. We're going to talk about Eritrea, we're going to talk about CAL, the Central African Republic. We're going to talk about South African politics. We're going to tackle the West, even the guy called the Burkina Faso. We're going to talk about them. We're going to tackle a lot. So be sure to send in a message. Give us information. We're going to see how Kenyan politics moves on, and going to see how we fight the dictatorship in our country, Mother Uganda. So we're gonna sometimes come with a deep analysis about the West of mostly America and the politics of the South America there. Thank you for watching. It's Josh Times. You can follow me on Josh Photography on TikTok. You can also go and follow me and read my articles on Joseph Kesemakula, that is Facebook. Okay, asante sana.